Round 3 is in the books and some mixed results for our Chargers team seeing they hit the road for the first time this season. Hello everyone, welcome along to Chargers TV. Ron Riggs, Justin Bryan alongside you here. JB, welcome.
Welcome, Ronnie. Very mixed results. Some very big numbers coming out of all of those games. Some mixed results. Almost an action replay of a previous home game and a nice solid road win for the men.
Absolutely. We'll dive into the women's results for you now. And it was Hobart going down by 2 against Kilsyth on Saturday night, 75-73. Maddie Garrick with 26 points, 10 rebounds and 7 assists. Taylor Roberts with 13 points and 9 rebounds, and a welcome return for Kylie McCauley in season number 11, JB, at 13 points, 9 rebounds and 5 assists as well there. Kilsyth, Abigail Curtin had 14 points and 7 rebounds, and Nikita Young had 13 points and a couple of assists as well too. And Lauren Scherf, the WNBL player, had 12 points and 15 rebounds. Let's jump to Sunday at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre where they took on the Tigers. And Melbourne winning this one quite convincingly in the end, 109-87. Eddie Collins with 25 points. Maddie Garrick had 19 points and 7 rebounds, and Taylor Roberts had 15 points and 6 rebounds. Meanwhile, for Melbourne, JB, it was Monique Conti with 40 points, 7 rebounds and 7 assists. A big game from her.
Yeah, the second 40-point game that's happened to Hobart in 4, so that's going to be something the team will certainly want to look to address. Meanwhile, we've got Isabel Brancatisano, one of the 3 triplets that was running around for Melbourne on the afternoon, 23 points, 4 rebounds, and Zatina Akuso with a triple-double. My mistake, I thought Monique Conti had the triple-double, but
right.
Definitely Akuso with a triple-double, 19-point triple-double, and a very mixed bag, as we mentioned, Ronnie. We mentioned about the almost action replay that was the game there against Kilsyth. And again, just one of those ones, come down to the buzzer, plenty of energy going in. Maddie Garrick firing, Ellie Collins firing, Shana Thompson hitting a few buckets as well. Great to see Kylie McCauley back out. A much more familiar looking lineup probably for a lot of people for Hobart, but just couldn't get the job done. A lot of energy going in on the road. I mean, that's certainly the fight and spirit that I think Mark Nash was looking for there in that first game. You know, as he's talked about, you know, the interrupted pre-season, getting people to get into gear and really take the steps they need to. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. And carried some of that energy over in the first quarter. I think it's key to note that in that first quarter, Hobart well and truly in control of that game against Melbourne. And then, unfortunately, Monique Conti unleashed herself. NBL1 South, women's player of the round, mind you, rounded averages of 32, 8 and 7, 5.5 steals. That's a lot to contain for anyone's book. The second 40-point game that Hobart's had to deal with against, one of the best two-sport athletes, I must say, Monique Conti, in the country. She had 21 points in the second half alone. Massive finish there from Melbourne. And I think tired legs really started to set in that second game.
Absolutely it did. And I did get the back end of that live stream as well too, JB. Just looked like some tired legs in that game. We'll throw to a little bit of Mark Nash's press conference, which we recorded on Wednesday afternoon.
We have Eltham coming to town who are in really good form. They've won their first 3 games of the season. They have 6 players in double figures, so a really tough test for us after a weekend where we were in the contest in both games, but unfortunately came away with 2 more losses.
So the thoughts there from head coach Mark Nash, and of course, JB, we go to Friday night, and of course, Pink Round in NBL1 South. We'll touch on Pink Round a little bit later on in the show, but the Chargers women's side up against the Eltham Wildcats, and of course, Eltham, for the first time in over 30 years, JB, are finally coming back down to Tasmania in a senior basketball competition.
Yep, it's going to be a massive night. Kingborough Sports Centre, Friday night, 6 p.m. for the women, 8 p.m. for the men. Our focus at the moment is 6 p.m. on the women, and they have a lot on their plate. Having spoken to Mark Nash prior to the press conference on Wednesday, first time he's been 0-4 in his professional career since that fabled 2008 men's Chargers team. He did basically tell us that that particular night it was if you don't win, you don't have a coach at the end of the game. So he said they were down 20 at that game, managed to rally and win, and again managed to rally and win the championship. So stranger things have happened. But Eltham are going to be a tough beat. They are one of the best teams in the competition right now. It's going to be, it's going to be really an interesting contest. I think being at home is going to change things. Shana Thompson being on her home floor, Kyla McCauley being on her home floor, probably a lot more availability as well locally, which is going to be good. Obviously, you're limited with your numbers you can take on the road. Maddie Stratzma is going to be a rotation that's going to be missing. She's away at Junior Nationals, under 20 state national championships. So good luck. Congratulations on the selection, but good luck to her as well. So, it's going to be a massive battle. But again, I think it's going to come down to playing 4 quarters, bringing that energy, bringing that hustle on the board. You're going to need to rebound. One thing that has killed us recently has been our ability to rebound. Defensively also going to be key as well. As I mentioned there, it's not great to admit, but we've had 2 40-point games on us from, 2 superstars of the competition.
Absolutely.
But that's something that Mark Nash will want to address and something that he will not tolerate again on his home floor. Pink round being extra special, obviously, to the club and the greater Hobart community as well. So that's, a big hit factor as well. This is going to be a real, true test. Maddie Garrick obviously getting really, really close to heading off for Olympic preparation. But our girls are starting to hit form. They're starting to hit their fitness, and they're starting to gel as a unit as well. So this is a key game. It's a crucial game. Can they win it? Well, that's up in the air. I don't know many teams 0-4 that have ever gone favourite into a game. But on the other hand here, Eltham haven't been here for the best part of 4 decades.
Yes.
I'm not going to imagine that we want to roll the red carpet out and have them walk straight up the laneway to try and, go home with the win as well. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a fight. And we're hoping to have a massive crowd there at the Sports Centre on Friday night.
Oh, absolutely. And just one of the big keys too for Eltham JB is going to be Lee Marley. Now, Lee Marley, one of the up-and-comers of basketball, or women's basketball in this country right now, and absolutely performing really well. Dominant on the boards, dominant on the points. She gets her players involved. She's right up there. Of course, her dad used to play in the NBL and is now with Basketball Australia, kind of in the hierarchy up there. But our focus on Lee Marley here is the key player for Eltham. She's going to be tough to beat on Friday night.
Absolutely. Sort of the Keely Froling sort of makeup and the way she can play. She's big on, as you said, she's big on the board. She knows how to score. She gets her teammates involved. A major threat for anyone who they're facing, and particularly Eltham, who I think we'll get to the ladders, but I think Eltham is sitting close in that top 4 there, Ronnie, ahead of Launceston, who did really, really well against us. She's a big circle on our board as far as, needing to shut her down and needing to be key. But we also know we've got players that are very much up for that. On the other side of it, Eltham are looking at us and going, well, Ellie Collins has come off a nice, weekend of basketball. Taylor Roberts really combated well with Alicia Froling last time out. Shana Thompson's back shooting shots. You don't head to the WNBL just for a cup of coffee for no reason.
Correct.
You can genuinely play the game. And of course, Maddie Garrett, getting ready for Olympic preparation. So while we're sitting here focusing on Maylee and what she's going to bring to the floor, and it's going to be it's going to be fun to watch her play. It's going to be great to call the game at the same time. Eltham are going to be coming down, knowing we've got almost 40 years, 35, 40 years we haven't been in Hobart. Yep. They've got a really good team. They're down 0-4. And as tough as silly as it sounds, Ronnie, when a side gets to a certain point where, you're 4 games behind 500, it's not a carefree way you play your basketball, but there's a sense of, well, we've got nothing to lose here.
Absolutely.
Let's go out, let's play fun, let's play freely. And I really think that that's going to be the key to Hobart on Friday night going up against Eltham. Again, obviously, Maylee, massive target. Eltham a top 4 team. But what better scout to get to open your account for the 2021 season on Pink Round on Friday night at home? Could be a perfect start to hopefully a winning run for the Women's Hobart Chargers.
Let's hope so. And of course, as you say, Friday night at the Kingborough Sports Centre, 6 o'clock tip-off, 5:55 p.m. we'll be on air, JV. Really looking forward to the women's matchup there. Let's take a quick break. We're going to throw JB's sponsor roll call in again in this ad break. And when we come back, we'll have the men's results for you right after this.
On behalf of the McKay Timber Hobart Chargers, naming right McKay Timber, our platinum sponsors for the women McKay Timbers, for the men Clennett's Minor 10, our gold sponsor Swisho Hoops Academy, our bronze sponsors Halls Water Wastewater Treatment Services, Jayco Hobart and Salters Hire Contra. Shout out to our scoreboard hero and our graphics you will see on social media, core staff, our community partner Wilson Homes, our mental health partner Speak Up Stay Chatty, our media partners in the Mercury, 7HOFM and Beetle Black Media, our corporate box sponsors including THA, Davey Street Discount Pharmacy, Lion Co and North City Cars. Our coaches sponsors tonight, Dobson Mitchell Allport sponsoring Mark Nash and core staff again sponsoring Anthony Stewart. Finally, our player sponsors, Rockwell Bar and Grill, Precision Plumbing, Trans Enterprises, Sam Proprietary Limited, The Barbershop, Bellamac, Home Smarts, Mermaids Takeaway, The Hanging Garden, Halls Water Wastewater Management, Bulk Nutrients, JMC and Express Service Centre. as they say in the classics, Ronnie, yibbida yibbida.
And welcome back. Let's have a look at the men's results for you now. And of course, Hobart went to Kilsyth and Melbourne as well too. And Saturday night saw the men go down by 10, but in what was a valiant effort, and of course our locals stepping up. We'll touch on that very shortly. But Elijah Pawson had a night out and a career high, JB, 20 points and 4 rebounds. Jacob Richards with 13 points and 10 rebounds, a nice double-double for him. Jonathan Mines keeps his form going with 13 points and 5 rebounds. Meanwhile, for Kilsyth, Ben Erskik with 22 points and a couple of assists. Corey Jeffs with 21 points and 12 rebounds. And Adrian Tamata with 13 points and 11 assists. Let's go to Melbourne on the Sunday here at MSAC, and the result swung the other way with Hobart getting a comfortable win here against Melbourne in the end, 108-85. And Jonathan Mines top scoring with 22 points, and he had 6 rebounds. Zach White, a welcome return to the team as well.
Very welcome return.
18 points and 7 rebounds for the chairman of the boards, as we like to call him. And Matty Young had 15 points and 6 rebounds. Meanwhile, for Melbourne, Keenan Willie, the youngster coming through the ranks there, 24 points, 10 rebounds. Felix Bonhoff with 18 points and 7 rebounds. And that is a lot.
That'll be Dugan Ilyasa, 17 points as well.
So, JB, they split the road double. So, a good result here for Coach Anthony Stewart, knowing that he wanted 2-0, but I think he'll take 1-1. But the big positive to take out of the Melbourne game, 6 plays in double figures. And then, of course, Elijah Pawson having a night out on Saturday night. Locals now stepping up. This is huge. That was a huge weekend on the road for our men's team.
Absolutely. Anthony Stewart obviously outlined he wanted 2-0. I think if Anthony could have gone his entire career having never lost a game and never missed a shot, he'd have been very happy with himself. Something tells me that sends him grayer than anything else. But ultimately for Stewie, I think the big win to come out of it was that big game from Elijah in Kilsyth. Okay, go down double digits, but your locals stepped up, your locals led the way, and that is really what he was searching for, particularly early on in this young season. They then head over to Melbourne. He knows the capabilities of this team, of these players. Didn't go up against a poor Melbourne side. Melbourne are a young team at the moment, there's no doubt about it. They have a couple of veterans mixed in amongst that. I believe Brad Pinot still coaching the team as well. But, a massive game. Zach and Jono leading the way, combined 40 points. Massive night or massive afternoon shooting from the outside. The other 4 players in double digits, all local players, all stepping up, all playing their job, doing the job. One guy that wasn't even in the double digits there, Ambrose Augusta, was on triple-double watch off the bench.
He was, yes.
I know at 1 point, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. That's the kind of energy and spark that Coach Stewart wants out of his team. 1-1 isn't 2-0, but I think it's certainly a growing result that Coach Stewart can live with.
Absolutely. And of course, Jonathan Mines fronted the press on Wednesday afternoon, and here's what he had to say as well too.
It's really well. We're 2-2 at the moment. Just still trying to find out who we are and what our brand of basketball is, but it's very positive at the moment, especially from this last weekend.
So the thoughts there from Jonathan Mines, and of course JB, Friday night at the Kimbra Sports Centre, 8 o'clock tip-off. We're up against Eltham, and we can't underestimate, there we go, I've got it, underestimate anyone in this league. Eltham will be tough.
Absolutely, they'll be tough, but the motivation for Hobart right now is they're sitting in 9th. They're not the Richmond Football Club, they're the Hobart Chargers, and they don't want to be sitting in 9th. They are a genuine chance to crack into playoff contention early on in this season. Eltham sitting behind them, so in their mind, no better target and no better way to transfer that road form than to come back home. Obviously, Adam Doyle playing for Eltham, former NBL player, so he does bring that talent and experience, but at the same time, we've got a young core group firing on all cylinders. We're not sitting here relying on needing a whole heap of imports. We're not sitting here relying on our young stars to really hurry up and get through the rotations. We're healthy. We're as healthy as we can be. Elijah Pawson, he's in the rotation, whether it's starting or his first guard rotation. Ambrose Augusta bringing it off the bench. Geordie Hargrave, another solid road trip for him as well. Matty Young's producing. Jacob Richards is producing. Jack Stanwich is producing. Chairman of the boards, he's back. He's producing in a big way. Cohen Sapwell, he had a quiet game, but again, if you leave him open to corner 3, he feeds off that energy. Hobart at this point, I think Coach Stewart would be really happy to say, are running, almost 8-9 deep in their rotation, and that's something this early on with so many, by comparison to other teams, so many limited imports and absolute elite level stars, has to be happy with what's going on, and he will know that now's the chance to really get that game above 500, get above it early, and keep that momentum building. Eltham, no better target to do it against, obviously, as we mentioned. And it's very similar. I made an AFL reference there before, but if you're off even by 5 or 10% in this league, it's a bad night. Melbourne is the example. Melbourne didn't play really poorly, but they had 1 or 2 little periods there against us that turned, a 4 or 5 point game into a 25 point game. That's very much capable of what could happen with Hobart as well. Happened with us, against the Thunder. We thought we'd be doing well. A couple of lapses, all of a sudden the Thunder ran away with it. Vice versa when we were against Ballarat. Ballarat really climbing in, full back a couple of steps, it's back out to double digits. So that's always going to be wearing on their mind. But again, massive motivation. Back at home, Friday night, Kingra Sports Centre. We're on air from 7:55, tip off at 8 o'clock. Hoping for another capacity crowd. It's going to be massive, and I reckon the Chargers might get another win here, Ronnie.
Let's hope so, JB. We're certainly looking forward to Friday night. Of course, you can get tickets online. Our links are all on the socials.
All on socials, absolutely.
And you can check by the website as well too, hobartchargers.com.au. Now, you can follow our social media here. So you can give a like on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram. Or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. So don't forget to keep up to date with all the goings on here at the Hobart Chargers. Now, round 4 of NBL1 South, JB, is Pink Round, and we're doing it for the Breast Cancer Network Australia, and it's a very important course to a couple of our female players, which we'll touch on in a second. Now, we've posted out some stuff already this week, JB, and you can find the link if you want to donate. The link is on...
the link is on our Facebook page. You'll also find it through our Instagram. And that is set up for us to raise money through Breast Cancer Network Australia. We'll also have another initiative which we will be running on game night. So any monies raised on game night for the Hobart Chargers will also be going and split with Seconds Count, the charity and foundation named in honour and for the late, great Ronnie Greenwood. Obviously a big cause for a lot of Hobart basketball people, a lot of Hobart people in general. It's going to be a really big night. It's going to be one of the biggest home games from a sentimental importance for the club. We've obviously got a couple of players in our women's team who have had experiences with family who have, had unfortunate things in relation to breast cancer and things around that. So I know that's really personal for them as well. But we encourage everyone to turn up on game night, dressed in pink. Obviously, the link's up on our socials. We'd love everyone to donate. We've got a goal of $1,000, and I really think we can smash that out of the park. No problem there. As I mentioned, money raised on the night will be split with Second Count. Ronnie's got his pink shirt that he'll be donning.
Yes.
He's got this hanging...
The beauty of a Chargers TV studio is I have my own wardrobe.
We have props in hand.
Props in hand. So, yes, I'll be wearing that. I know JB's got something lined up as well, too.
I've got a few different things lined up as well. Someone mentioned about rolling a red carpet out for me. I don't really don't particularly want to be doing that, but no, we'll be kitted out in our brightest and best. But no, a really great cause. It's going to be a really great night, and tickets are selling fast. I'm hearing around only 100 tickets available at the time of recording. I know we mentioned about 80 last time we recorded them by the time of the release of the show, sold out. So, this is really pleasing to see that Hobart's getting behind the team, but most importantly, really important that Hobart's going to be getting behind the Mother's Day round, playing
Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yes, Mother's Day on Sunday. So, a really big and important round. Going for a really great cause. This is probably the biggest home game that we could possibly have outside of a derby.
Yes.
And it's one that we encourage everyone to get along, everyone support, dress in pink, donate where you can, and really come along and enjoy the night. It's going to be good.
Oh, absolutely. Looking forward to it. And, dress up in pink, have a bit of fun. It's always great to have these theme rounds, JB, because it gives us a lot of creative ideas and whatnot. And look, the Breast Cancer Network Australia and Seconds Count, two very important organisations. So please give generously where you can, or donate through by the links that we've got posted. Every cent counts. So please try and donate where possible. The other thing we want to mention here too, JB, obviously a pink round. Of course, Jacob, a courtside reporter who did a terrific job on the broadcast last home game, will be back with us and for the rest of the season now. He will be also dressing up in pink as well too. I think a few of the other guys that are coming with the media department have also got into the spirit of it. So this is fantastic to see. And like I say, now we only need a throwback round. That would be great.
Yeah, retro round would be awesome. I've been wearing suits and ties. I could probably come out in an 1880s sort of garb or whatever it is. I don't know, but no, it's awesome when we have these theme rounds. And I mean, a lot of people look at it as just a theme round or a marketing ploy at times, but no, there's a lot of there's a lot of care and dedication, a lot of time, and a lot of thought that goes in to rounds like this. And obviously, our Mother's Day round, and supporting the Breast Cancer Network Australia and Seconds Count. That's one that's probably the most important to the Hobart Chargers. So it's great for us to be back on board, back supporting it. And yeah, it's going to be a really good night.
Absolutely, and of course, a happy Mother's Day in advance to all the mothers out there this coming Sunday. Now, JB, we've got to mention too the tickets and, of course, the now check-in TASAP protocol. So I'd love you to touch on that for me, please.
Yep, absolutely. So, again, we are still sitting at a limited capacity. I know, and having had talks with different people, we are pushing to try and get that capacity lifted. However, due to limited staffing numbers with us at the moment, with different things that are going on, and the time it takes to increase that capacity, we're probably not looking at that until around June, close to that mid-year level. So again, tickets are going to be exclusive. They are still online. We are still requiring you to buy your tickets in advance. No door sales. So again, you can find our try booking link on our socials. What we might do, we might even throw that in the description of the video. So once you see it on YouTube, click on the link. We'll probably throw our fundraising link in there as well. So click on the try booking link, book your tickets. Most importantly, when you do turn up, because it is now a requirement of the Sports Centre, we do need you to use the Check-In Tas app. If you can't, there will be someone there to help you do that or sign you in, but you need to use the Check-In Tas app. And most importantly, we need you to do it, because if you don't do it and you don't comply, then unfortunately you're not going to be able to get in. The last thing we want to do is have no butts on seats, simply because people won't follow instructions. So again, we're still sticking with our COVID safe plan. So once you check in with the Check-In Tas app on your phone, when you get down to the door, when you see the ladies on the door, make sure you scan your ticket in. You're in. That's awesome. You've checked in twice. That's exactly what we need. Again, buying tickets in advance, no door sales, and again, complying with all COVID rules and regulations, which is something that I certainly can say from our vantage point, Ronald, everyone has done really, really well. And we want to keep it up. And the more we keep it up, the more evidence we show, the better our chances are of 100% capacity.
Absolutely. And just to give you a quick insight, I was lucky enough to attend the NBL game at the Launceston Silverdome Monday night between New Zealand and Illawarra. The staff there were very potent on making sure you check in with that check-in Tas app as well too. They were very content on making sure everyone did that, and then of course secondly getting your ticket scanned as well too. So I know as a matter of fact in person they really enforce that issue.
Yeah, and having been at the Sports Centre a couple of times this week already, having gone Tuesday night for reserve basketball, there tonight for senior basketball, same thing. You've got to come in, you've got to check in. It's just a requirement. That's Absolutely. All you've got to do. And we would rather you do that than have you miss out on a game. And that goes for everyone too. That's just not one-off game ticket holders. That's just not members. That's season pass holders as well. We would hate for you to be a season pass holder who doesn't come in and doesn't comply, and unfortunately we have to turn you away at the door. Ronnie and I have to check in. We have to check in with our volunteer passes. We go through the door as well. No one's immune to this.
Correct.
Players are the same as well. It's everybody in the building. We need you to follow it. You've done well so far. 2 sellouts, 100% tick of approval pretty much across the board on everything.
Word, yes.
We want to keep that track record, because most importantly, we want to get 100% capacity, and we want the Kingborough Sports Centre rocking come mid-season.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see that happen. So keep doing the right thing, and hopefully that all happens for us. Now, also too, JB, some great video work done by Darren Petty, who's come on board and is helping us with some extra bits and pieces here and there, JB. And the video's been put up online. It had a lot of looks at it too. I checked the numbers. My word, there was quite a few looks. But a great work by Darren Petty and his crew to capture some of the different aspects of the game that we don't capture on broadcast.
Absolutely, and a shout out to some of the unique aspects that you managed to capture. Whether that's seeing the coaches work the whiteboards, whether you can hear the huddles, whether you can hear the players talking, whether you can see people in the crowd dancing.
Yes.
Had everything left, right, and centre. Would a lot. We get plenty of airtime. Wouldn't mind a little bit more on camera. Right. No, only joking. Last thing you need, you hear us enough. You don't need to see us. But no, a wonderful piece of footage, about 7 minutes long. You can find that on our Facebook page, and you can find that on our Instagram. I know our Instagram well and truly hit the 2,000.
Yes.
It was 2,000 by the end of the night. That was on Monday night when we uploaded it. Well, about 5,000 views now. It captures a lot of different aspects and uses, a lot of different cameras. So you've got, your 4K view. You feel like you're right on the court with the players. You feel like you're right in the court with the huddle. You feel like you're right amongst the crowd. If you don't know what it's like to be at a Chargers game and you've only thought about buying a ticket, I really suggest that you go and look at that video. 7 minutes, covers the men's, covers the women's, and Anzac Day as well. So I had or Anzac round. It had a lot of different things going on as well. So you can only imagine if you're unable to, if you really want to see what it's like, see the video. And the one he's going to make this round, I can imagine, is going to be just as impressive. So you don't want to miss out. You might have a chance to feature in it as well. Great work by Darren and his crew, and it's great to have him on board.
Absolutely. Welcome aboard, and looking forward to the next video, as we say. That will just about wrap us up here. I'll quickly mention air times once again. I know we mentioned it throughout the broadcast here, but we'll go for it once again. 5:55 in the women's game. Of course, JB calling the game there. I'll join in with special comments. And then at 7:55 will be the men's game. We'll switch the roles around. I'll be play-by-play for that one, and JB will be on the expert comments there. And we're going to finish up with. I nearly forgot.
Well, you have to make sure too, by the way, you can't get to the game. NBL1.com.au. Make sure that you go. I know a lot of people have had some issues finding streams and clicking on different links that aren't official links. Yes. We have been trying to deal with that. Make sure that you do go through the NBL1.com.au or the NBL app to watch it. There's no sign-ups, there's no click-throughs, nothing, no paywalls. You go in, you go to the game centre, you click on the video will play, and you get to watch it there. So as long as you are going through the NBL1.com.au or the NBL app, you will be able to view those games. Links will be up there as well if you can't get there. As Ronnie mentioned, 5:55 for the women, 7:55 for the men, and it's going to be one hell of a round.
Yep, and of course all games free, as you say, JB, and it's streaming on the NBL1.com.au or the NBL app. Right, to finish us off is going to be an interview with Maddie Garrick that we did before the home opener a few weeks back now. So you'll see a little snippet, and then of course to view the full interview, we'll have that up on our YouTube channel when this show goes to air as well too. So on behalf of Justin Bryan, I'm Roll Riggs. We'll see you Friday night at the Kingborough Sports Centre.
Nashi reached out to me just on social media asking if I'm looking for an NBL1 team, and at the time I was. I took a little bit of time off after the WNBL hub, just to have a bit of physical mental break, and then I was looking for a team at the time, and then he popped up at the perfect time. And it was great because, obviously 3x3 Olympic preparations and qualifying tournaments are a priority of mine as well. And he was, happy to work around that. And it's kind of perfect the way that it worked out. So, perfect time. I've heard great things about the club, great things about Nashi. So I was like, this is it. Yeah.